Well, thank you guys. Here we are, lesson number 4 of 8. Lesson number 1, be thankful daily. Hopefully you have that attitude of gratitude. Lesson number 2 was find your vision. Hopefully you found your vision in the key areas of your life and you have that somewhere in your car, next to your sink, next to your bed, whatever it is. Hopefully, lesson number 3 was to an apple a day, basically to live a healthy life. Hopefully your assignment was to develop a health plan, both physically and mentally. So we are on lesson number 4 today. And listen, we're making some progress. You're making some steps, right? And everybody can start something. Everybody can start something. But very, very few people see it through. And that's lesson number 4. See it. I'm going to read something from Walks with Mr. Smith. And it says, so much of success is just hanging around and staying the course when others have decided to abandon ship. Too many people start to feel the pressure and the weight of the work needed to accomplish their goals, and then they say no more. What they need to understand is that the pressure and weight molds us so we are able to handle the goal when it's accomplished. Listen, anything worth achieving, those visions that you come up with, that incredible marriage, maybe an incredible parent, maybe that income that you set in your business to achieve, right? Anything worth achieving is going to be hard. And we want to set goals. We want to go after things that make us change, where we have to change, where we have to push ourselves. And listen, that's where a lot of people don't see it through. You know, we can spend a lifetime screwing things up, and then we expect to see these immediate results or these amazing results in like 2 weeks, 1 week. It doesn't work that way, guys. It takes time, and you have to see it through. And that's where so many people, they stop, then they start. They stop and they start. They start to exercise for 2 weeks, then they stop. And then they maybe start up again, or they start to eat healthy, and then they have a bad week, and then they go back to eating healthy and have a bad week. You do date night, right? You do a date night Friday night, maybe you get 2 Friday nights, then you go back to a month and a half and no date nights, and then you go back to getting a fight, so then you go back to date nights. You see how it works? The stop and start, the stop and start. When you begin to see it through, when you're consistent, you start to gain momentum, right? Momentum is powerful. So 3 things that I wrote down that will help you to see it through. One is you got to have big reasons. You got to have big whys. Why do you want to achieve what you're trying to achieve? Because when it gets hard, you got to go back to those reasons. Why do you want to be an amazing husband? Why do you want to be an amazing wife? Why do you want to be an amazing parent? Why do you want to earn that income? Okay, is it for that family trip that you're going to take with the kids and the wife, and you have to pull on those reasons, use those, or get those reasons to push you through. Another thing is to develop a support system. When you have these visions, when you have this, tell somebody about it. Share it with your spouse. Share it with your best friend. You know, I coach myself. I coach people, and then I get coached. I have coaches pushing me to make sure I see things through. So that's another thing. You got to have a strong support system. And realize, this is another thing I have 3, is realize greatness doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. You know, a great book is Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect. And it's very interesting. I've told this story at several different talks, and I use his book and his analogy of we'll call it the cheeseburger story. If you were to go, let's say, to McDonald's, and you were to order, let's say, a Big Mac, a large fry, and you supersize your soda, and an hour later, okay, you gained 15 pounds, an hour after that you had a heart attack, right? You probably wouldn't go back to McDonald's the next day. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It's those things, those small choices over time, okay, that either take us down a good path or a negative path. So, how this relates to seeing it through, when we set these goals and when we set this vision, right, it's going to be us making those choices to not quit, to see it through, that over time is going to take us in places that we thought we can never ever get to or achieve. But it takes time. If you exercise 3 days a week and then 5 days a week and 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, okay, you may not see that big of a difference, but a year of eating healthy, a year of exercising, a year of working on your marriage and every single day figuring out 1 to 2 things that you could do for your spouse, what's that marriage going to look like, okay, in a year, 2 years, 3 years? You see, it takes time. And what happens is we need to go into these things, these visions, with the idea of seeing it through. There is no alternative. It's like when you're taking the island, you got to burn the ships. There's no backtracking. You got to continue through. So, lesson number 4 is see it through. And listen, at the end of our lives and really our day, in our day we have to really decide on the 2 pains that we're going to experience, right? We're either going to have to deal with the pain of discipline, of seeing things through, of getting it done, going to the gym, having that conversation with your spouse, making those phone calls in your business, whatever it may be, spending time with the kids. Those pains of discipline, of getting it done, or the pain of regret. And the pain of regret is much, much heavier than the pain of discipline. And we don't want to be at the end of our life and have so much regret.